Hey guys, Joe here with Felipe from Pastaio, and we're at ECRM's Center Store session in Las Vegas. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Joe, for the introduction.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and the products that you have?
Yeah, for sure. As you mentioned, our company name is Pastaio USA. We are an Italian manufacturing company. We manufacture 100% of our pastas in the island of Sardinia. We are a totally integrated company we own the mill, the production facility, and all the way to the distribution channels. Our headquarters here in the States are in Atlanta, and mainly our focus is organic bronze die cut pasta, which has had a lot of good support from some of your retailers, and the brand has been gaining some momentum in the past couple of months.
Great. Well, so you mentioned you're integrated vertically.
Correct.
So what kind of benefits does that offer compared to somebody who's not?
In the case of pasta, it's Italian pasta. First of all, there's a lot of competition going on here in the United States market, and when you're totally integrated, there's a lot of efficiencies from the get-go. So all of those efficiencies, what we're trying to do is to pass them along all the way to the final customer. And at the end of the day, it makes a big difference in terms of both quality, because you have control of the source all the way to when you sell the product, and the quality as well. So it's more difficult just because it's a bigger chunk of the business from A to Z, but at the same time, you're more comfortable because you control the entire chain.
Cool. And you've been coming to our sessions since last year, right? That was the first time we met, and you've had a lot of activity going on since then, a lot of success. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's interesting. We came across ECRM indirectly through RangeMe. We are a RangeMe premium verified company, and then one of your colleagues reached out to us to introduce ECRM events. And as of last year, we started to participate, and this is our fourth event. And every event has had a very positive feedback from our retailers and also from your team members, so it has been pretty interesting. Some of the success stories that we could share at this point is we have landed a couple of significant accounts across the United States. Some of them could be, it's Hannaford supermarkets in the Northeast. We partner up with Amazon. We're doing an exclusive brand for them. We are working with CNS as well.
Okay.
And then we're also working with Federated, Bursutos.
Great, great. And you mentioned Hannaford, you're in all of their stores with several SKUs?
Yeah, actually we met with them the first time in the organic event last year in August in San Diego. And we had a pretty successful meeting with Benji, and then he told us to follow up in January, and that's when the category review came up.
Great, yeah.
And we met with them this past January, and then they selected 4 of our products, and we're just waiting to roll out the products in all of their stores.
Great. When's the rollout going to happen?
Initially, they were talking about June, but that's a tentative date, but we'll see how things are going fast, so hopefully it could be a little bit before, but
Great.
We do believe it's going to be by the middle of the year.
So what are some of the ways that you prepare for the sessions?
I think first of all is that what we notice is that everything is integrated in your platform, so everything is visible. It's really easy to connect to your colleagues or team members in order to plan these sessions in advance. We also get a constant feedback both on our products and also what we're missing in order to get ready for those meetings. And at the end of the day, we're also able to see who are we meeting with, and we do spend a lot of time understanding each of the buyers and making sure that we tailor our conversations towards their specific needs.
Great. So you do a lot of homework, a lot of research before your meetings.
Yes, and it's such an easy tool to use. We're able to load products, any notes that we have or any questions. Although it's only 10-minute sessions, because that's we're in the
innovation pipeline,
which is 10-minute sessions. We feel they're very efficient because it's a way for you to talk about your product, but at the same time making sure that the conversation is tailored to their needs.
Yeah.
So for us, it has been very successful, and at the same time, every time we learn more, and I think it's something that we're very interested in participating in the future.
I think that's a great point that you brought up, is that every time you learn more, because that's something that we talk to a lot of suppliers. Something that I've actually said in previous videos is the fact that if you're a supplier and you're having meetings at our sessions, you get one of two things, or hopefully both. One, you get a follow-up, right, which could lead to business, or two, you get information that you can apply to your business to make it better. So feedback from the buyer that you know, whether it's packaging, whether it's, you know, flavors or product, but you're getting something out of that meeting so that you keep learning and you keep applying that. So you seem to be doing that.
Yeah, correct. And I think the other thing is that at the end of the day, making sure that you sit down with the decision maker is extremely important, because sometimes it's not easy to navigate each and every retailer in the States. Although there's a lot of information out there, all of the categories are changing constantly. But when we come to these sessions, you're prepared for that specific meeting, and also you're maximizing your time.
Yeah.
In 2 days, we have an average of 30-minute meetings, which for us is excellent, because in 2 days you're able to almost do what you can do in a year. And in terms of the investment, it's, I would say, an average of $200 per meeting compared to thousands of dollars per meeting if you were to go directly to their.
Gotcha.
So that's, for us, the return on investment is always a number that we follow, and so far in the 4 events that we've seen, that return on investment is always really good.
We tend to be a lot more high touch. Like our account managers work very closely with you and curate the lists, and so is that your experience?
Yeah, you know, it's, as I said, we started to participate last year. Our first event was the store band, and even though we were new to the whole system, it took us 1 week to learn how to navigate, and then to just start working on putting together the meeting. So I do believe that if anybody wants to start or continue or keep growing the business, I think in any of those events, ECRM is a great tool, and the return on investment is there. You can feel it, although sometimes the timing is not the correct one. You create a personal connection with the decision maker, which at the end of the day, that's key to the success of any retailer.
So like your experience, when you met Hannaford, it wasn't their planning time, but you got that relationship so that when it was.
Yeah, it was a pretty good meeting. As I mentioned earlier, is that we had a meeting in August in the organic session, and it was a pretty good one. Although the timing was not the correct at that point, he told us to follow up in the next coming months, because in January the category review was up, and then by January we were invited to the category review. They selected 4 of our 6 products, and things went pretty smooth. So I would say it was ideal and surprising to some extent, because it was 6 months. But I think if we wouldn't had that first meeting with him, it would have taken longer for us to get into his, I guess, on his radar.
Yeah, well, that's great. Well, so what's next?
So what's next for us? We're gonna keep investing and participating in ECRM. We hopefully this year we're gonna participate between 3 and 4 events.
Okay.
We're gonna repeat some of the ones that we did last year, and also from the research and development, we're coming up with a new product that my colleague Francisco can tell you a little bit more about it.
Okay.
But it's gonna be a very interesting year for us, and hopefully we can keep coming to and participating in your ECRM events.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us, and we're going to bring his colleague over here now to talk about the new product. So, okay, now we have Francisco with us from Pastaio, and he's going to talk about what they got coming down the pike.
Well, Joe, we have in the pipeline currently several products right now we're working on. You know, our portfolio right now is mostly organic brown side pasta. But we're currently working on high protein pastas. So in the near future, we're gonna have our line of pastas that include red lentil pasta, black bean. Also, you can find pastas with rice and corn. So mostly the complete gluten-free line of pastas that we want to include into our portfolio, and also into our private label offering.
High protein is huge. I mean,
Correct.
I'm looking forward to that, because what kind of protein are we talking about? You know, as far as levels?
You know, lentils. I mean, we're talking about, you know, proteins at the 14%, 15% level.
That's great.
So it's pretty up there. We also have another line of pasta sauces we're working on that is coming up. So basically, we have a lot of the pipeline. We're very excited and we're looking forward to introduce those items into the next ECRM shows.
Great. About when are they going to be ready?
The pasta sauces are almost ready. They should be ready by hopefully the next show in April. And the high protein pastas we're looking at second semester of the year.
Okay, great.
But it should be done pretty quickly, and hopefully, we can get some traction with the current customers we have secured through ECRM, and the future prospect customers that we might be able to work with.
Great. Well, I'm glad that you guys are crushing it in the category. So
All right.
thanks for joining us, and I look
Thank you so
forward to
much.
seeing more from you.
Of course, definitely.
All
Thank
right.
you.